How we doing, folks? Hope everybody's doing well. I really enjoy hearing those guys sing. They are great. Love their bagpipes. Check them out. As always, their link and the appreciation to the artist that puts all that stuff together on YouTube or posted in the video here. Give them a shout out. Well, let's see. Let's bring Discord. Hello, Discord.
Good morning, Mr. Maxwell.
Damn, who's that strange face I see over in Discord?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good to have you
She
back.
seems about as enthusiastic as the rest of us, too, so.
Yeah, well, there you go, right? We.
No, I'm currently fighting off the little black cat who wants my headset.
Ah, well, yeah. Well, looks like we got a little bit of an announcement over there in chat. Cody Frisk, I don't know if anybody remembers him. Him and his family used to live on property back in the day. Really nice people. Mr. Cody has gone and gotten himself engaged, you poor fella. Now, congratulations. Congratulations.
Got himself engaged.
Congratulations.
Well, and you know, this just goes to say, if anybody has any announcements or anything that they want made on Open Pagan Church, we're happy to do it for you.
I remember Cody.
Yeah. Good. Of course, like the rest of us, when he became upper in his later teenagers, he goes a little batshit crazy, but didn't we all, I think?
He's got a baby too.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
How old, Cody?
I think he's still in chat, I don't know. So anyway, what are we doing today? Hell, I don't know. Let me pull up my broadcast notes and see what I got written here. Yeah, okay. So Lester's coughing. I'm coughing. We're all coughing. It's that time of the year.
Yeah.
The happy
Happy Fling Days.
the happy flim days. Yeah. I'm not worried about it. I'm not running fever, so yeah.
It ain't COVID.
It ain't COVID.
Yeah. It ain't COVID.
No, just kickstart that lung. We'll get that sucker going. I need to put a crank over here on my right rib. You know, just kind of crank these old lungs up and get them going in the morning.
When you find out how to do that, let me know. I'd love one too.
Yeah, I'd be all right till I rolled over on my side and shoved the crank through the other side. So.
You always put an air pump down at the bottom of it. Go to town.
Oh, I so went the wrong direction with that, Lester. You're wrong. Oh,
You're thinking in the wrong place, bro.
dude. Okay, what the hell were we talking about? Oh, right, Open Pagan
Let's
Church.
start over, shall we?
Nah, hell, let's just keep going. All right, so, and I mean, you know, this kind of falls right in to today's times. By the way, at the time of this broadcast, we're at September 20th. So we are in Maybon today, tomorrow, and Tuesday, depending on where you're at in the world. Happy, blessed Maybon. And this typically starts the time of year where the holidays are upon us and everybody just goes batshit crazy.
Right?
So that does also fall right in line with what we're talking about, being true to self. Yep, what Lester said. Being true to
So in
self.
other words, don't try to be fake just to please somebody else. Be yourself.
You tell them, Sandy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
We is who we is. Deal with it.
Absolutely, pretty much, damn straight. So, in my notes, I put, what is being true to self? Um, and it can be hard to accept yourself. I mean, so many people are trying to build personas and be something they're not, and try to be who they're not. And one of the other things I put in there is only you can change you. Not my job to change
But in the
who you
long
are.
run, you only hurt yourself.
Right, right. Well, see, and it's not only that though. Trying to be something we're not, we also hurt those around us, our loved ones and family and what
True.
have you. Um,
I think there's a little bit of a line drawn there though, because like being true to yourself, sometimes it's hard to embrace the new you of getting old. So it's hard to accept that aspect of it because it sucks.
I resemble that
Right?
remark.
We all
So you
do.
just reverse the numbers. Reverse the numbers.
Well, I mean, think about body shaming, um, trying
Yeah.
to trying to fit in with the mold that society thinks we should fit in with,
Yeah.
um, trying to tolerate and deal with what um, family, quote unquote, might think we should be, should have been. And then there's the one I really have a tick over is dealing with your own ethics, right? I mean, like they said a while ago, being at the end of the day, you are who you are. But when you're dealing with ethics, and for those few out there that may watch our broadcast that don't know what ethics is, Google it. It might help you. So, what are, and I mean, most of us, well, all of us in Discord at the moment are over 40.
Hey, not yet. That's not fair. I'm not 40 yet. January. I'm well past 40.
Oh, yeah, I blew the hell out of 40 20 years ago. Almost.
I'm gonna be right back.
So, when we were younger, and I'm going to go way back in the annals of time, when we were in our teens, when self was really actually forming and we were stepping out in the world in our late teens, early 20s. Some of us, it happened to a little sooner. But for the most part, on an average, young people tend to start really migrating into the world and making their way when they're 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. What were some of the challenges you guys had when you were just learning what self is?
For me, um, it was really hard because my family never liked me. They never accepted me. They never. So I was in this crucial phase of trying to learn and grow and find who I was, and I was being beat down every chance that I could get. So, for me, it was a tough, tough journey.
Believe it or not, you're more the norm than you think.
Oh, I
Yep.
I believe it.
Yep.
I mean, through the years, I've heard story after story, tale after tale of people that went through their earlier years, childhood, teenage, young adult, went through hell just trying to be themselves because members of family or childhood, quote, friends, unquote, would try to stereotypical or rationalize or put them in a stereotypical situation. Looks like Jamie is in chat. Morning, Jamie. Oh, she made it into Discord.
Yeah, amazing things never stop happening around here.
What's that? That you made it into Discord, or that you got your ass out of bed?
Both. And I didn't even have to ask for either.
Wow.
Woo!
So if we had, does anybody, and I'm asking this kind of as an open-ended rhetorical question, if you will. How many of us had trouble accepting our own self?
Still do.
I know I did.
Me.
So, if you can, those of you in the Facebook feed and those of you watching the pre-recorded broadcast, feel free to type in your story. Maybe it'll help somebody else. Anybody else want to share their story of having serious problems accepting who you are?
I mean, I can always touch on that topic. I was very happy at 15 when I learned my pagan way, and then I had my mother at 18 that finally accepted me. And as I grow and I get older and I get more and more unhealthy, I guess it's harder to accept. And not being able to do things around the farm, not be able to move like I should. It's a constant struggle to accept who I am. Now, am I accepting who I am in my faith? Yes, I wish I could do more, but it's always a constant struggle and always a constant battle of accepting self for me.
Yeah, absolutely get it. Anybody else? I mean, we've all got stories to tell.
Yeah, not me. I'm pretty perfect. I'm just saying.
Aha!
At that age, I had intended to be a Catholic priest. And then I took a totally different turn and started working in the oil field. And I was fine with that. I've never actually went back and looked at my life and said, being a Catholic priest would have been a whole lot easier. No, I resigned myself to what I was and who I was. And that's where I've been the rest of my life. And I've been happy with it.
Yeah, but how many people do we know and have we seen through the years that wasn't okay with accepting themselves?
Oh,
Almost
we've seen a lot of
everyone.
that.
I mean, of course, I went through a stage where I had to finally accept my pagan path. Um,
Yeah, you was way late on that one.
yeah, I was like in my 30s.
I was 50. What do you? When I finally found it.
Well, you
I was
kinda,
in my 30s too.
yeah, you kind of know something's different.
Mhm.
You know, if you could picture me being a deacon and a choir boy in a church, choke. Um,
I'll put this thing down.
I knew something wasn't right. I knew something was different. I knew something just didn't quite ring with the stories that they were telling. But
I mean, that's a
go ahead.
how many of us actually started that way? You know, started in the church, started, you know, kind of, I don't want to say being forced to find that path, but and then switched it to what we are currently.
Well, I think about it this way. My daughter is being raised in a part of her house is pagan. Part of her house is quote Christian, and a big part of her family in East Texas are very heavily Christian. And most all of them that I've met of her family are really good people. But at the same time, it's given her a rounded sense of self.
Absolutely. We try to raise our son like that as well with multiple different faiths and seeing the beauty of everything.
Yeah, I mean, she's done the Christian church thing. She went with her friends. Of course, in 2020, the year of COVID, she doesn't even really get to see her friends other than chatting via video chat or phone or whatever. But even still, case come to point, she's got a much more rounded sense of self. Well, as rounded as someone her age can be, I guess. And we look at, you know, we look at the people that are that have come over to or are coming over to the pagan faith from hardcore iron-fisted Judeo-Christian families. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
I find it interesting right now in the world that they're not that whole group of people, and not a generality, but the majority that I see are not living up to what they say they believe, and so there's a twist or a divide in their faith because nobody is walking the walk.
I
Yeah.
think almost people have forgotten what their faith is actually about or mean because it's been twisted so much through the years that if you, and it's not just with Christianity, it's with multiple faiths. If you actually look at the core of it, the base of it, it is so far to the left or to the right, whatever, it's so far faded from what it actually was that I don't know if people know what their faiths truly are.
I have a girlfriend who I grew up with, and her older brother became an Assembly of God's minister. Love him to death. I still love him. But if you start asking him about his political beliefs in connection to his faith and what would Jesus actually do and all of those kinds of things, there becomes this huge divide that he's having a really difficult time melding.
Yeah, and a lot of people, it's amazing how many people actually have that problem because of their sociological, ideological programming from day one. Um, morning, Dave. Dave has posted, Clint posted. Clint, do you want to read your post?
I'll kind of synopsis it. Um, Me and my family moved every 2 years, so we really never had any true friends. Once I moved to Orange, things kind of settled down, but nobody knew how to take me, and I didn't know how to do it either because we were always loners because we moved every 2 years, so we had nobody back then to really call friends. And back in those days, boys did football, basketball, going to church every Sunday, and I never did that kind of stuff. But now that I'm on my path, some of my friends now understand why I was like I was back then.
Well, we all tend to migrate our own way, and Dave, I'm not going to touch on that post. Um, we're not even going to go there. Dave says, I'm going to be who I am no matter what, and I think that's a lot of us. So let's kind of shift gears now, right? Let's move into, be true to yourself. So many people have such a problem and have to deal with such a problem of body shaming. So let's kind of slip from the religious philosophy and move into the body, the physical architecture of self. We live in a time where body shaming is still such a thing, but it's not as cool as it was back in the day. Speaking for self, I've looked at pictures back 15 odd years ago when I was doing the Ren Fair, and I actually had a six pack, not the one I drink. Um, I was in a hell of a lot better shape than I am now. Hell, I stayed with the drummers 10, 12, sometimes 14, 16 hours just steadily, beating on the drum for the dancers and what have you. Hell, I probably couldn't do that now. I'd do good to make a couple hours now. But how many of us grow ashamed or have been body shamed most of our lives? Anybody want to touch on that one?
Me. Oh my goodness. My parents. Um, I guess out of high school, I become larger. They didn't like that. They called me the black sheep. They wouldn't contact me, or I had to do the first contact, I guess you could call it, because of that. And of course, I got married, had kids, but the parents shame you because you're not at their standards. Um, I guess that's where I was at until both my parents moved out of town and was the baby girl of the family. Shame on you. You're not doing your standards.
So, how did you find that affected you being able to be true to yourself in later life?
I guess when they moved up, my sister come controlling factor of their lives. Quinn and me decided, true to ourselves, we're trying the best we can to help them if they'll let us. And if not, true to self, I've done the best I could.
But how did that deal with you? If you're comfortable sharing, of course. How did that? And I want to put this in here because it's a part of being true to yourself and learning who you are. When kids are shamed or young people are shamed by family members as they're coming up, there's very little support architecture there.
Right.
You're shamed because you don't look like everybody else. You're shamed because you don't think like everybody else, or like what was it said to me by a couple of family members growing up. You're not normal.
Yeah. Oh, that helped me raising my kids because I wouldn't shame them into doing things like the normal. Um, they had their own ways. I let them have freedom to a point. Um, they would, I guess, what that helped me is I was disciplined. Me and Clem were disciplined Navy brats. Oh, it's like military house. Yes, sir. No, sir. Get on with it. But with the children that I raised, I decided when I had Thomas that, okay, I'm going to correct him and stuff, but I'm not going to bear the rod. as we put it. But I think it turned out pretty good. A little weird, of course, well, we all are.
Yeah, but you know,
And they're
I
able to voice their opinions and voice their religion, politics, whatever they want. And we discuss it. We don't say, no, you're wrong.
therein lies the $1,000,000 point. You discuss it. You talk about it. You listen. And in this broadcast, we've said 1,000,000 times, listen to your kids. Listen to your family members. You know, sometimes with kids, it's as much the things they don't say as it is the things they do say.
Like Serena, she's very opinionated and very strong-willed now.
Well, that can be a good and a bad thing. I know that I suffer from motor mouth syndrome myself at times.
We all. How
um,
less than?
say again?
It's an opinionated, strong-willed. Huh, Lester?
Yeah.
I know Jamie is too.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Uh,
Yeah, plead the fifth, baby. It works.
that's
There-
why I
yep,
like
there you go.
my family of choice here. So I call you guys family of choice because I choose to be family.
Well, family is not always blood, is it?
No, that's like true to self. If you're comfortable with true to yourself, in other words, you were talking about this, are you comfortable with your life? Is there anything you could change in self to improve your life? Always.
And the whole point of the introduction, only you can change you. And about 10 or 12 years ago, I really actually looked at myself in the mirror. And I no longer wore a 38, 36 blue jean.
No, I do.
Asshole. Yeah. I now wear a 44, 34 pants.
You got bigger, rounder, and shorter. How the
And-
hell did you do that?
My whole family shrinks. My mother used to be 5'7.5", almost 5'8". She now is about 5'5" or 5'6". I used to be 6'1" at my tallest point. I'm now 5'11.5". I'm going the wrong way.
Got some shrinkage in the joints there, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, don't remind me.
So you're not really gaining weight, you're just compacting.
Yeah, the thing that scares the hell out of me, by the time I'm in my 70s, hell, I may look like a trash compactor.
I'm just
You could
so
be
look like
R2D2.
R2D2. I just wish I could get around as good as R2D2 does.
You starting to sound like them already.
Thanks, Lester.
Damn, Dave, you're short. Dave's only 5'6".
5'6". I mean, you know, hell, I can't say anything. My daughter's almost as tall as I am. I'm like, really? I mean, she's already taller than her mama, but everybody's taller than
Mama
Cammy.
5'6".
She'll smack me later.
I didn't know they stack sugar that high.
I think you're using the wrong word that starts with an S there, Dave.
I'll do it. It's a family oriented, but man, Dave, you're full
But
of
it was
shit.
politically correct.
You're full of
No,
shit.
I meant literally sugar. Because
Yeah, but you know what fertilizes sugar, right?
yeah.
But I mean, come on, it all comes back to accepting ourself. Be true to yourself. Yeah.
But religions don't want you to be true to yourself because they want you to be controlled. They want you to believe that it's external and not internal.
Right,
You
but
know,
you know,
but I mean, Jesus said, even that comes from Egypt, but that the kingdom of heaven is inside. But they don't even expound on that in church. They don't have no. They skip right over that.
a lot
They
don't,
don't want you to know who you are inside.
a
I
lot
don't know
don't,
why.
and you're right. But let me ask you a question, and this is speaking from experience as a spiritual counselor. Is it a is it not a people thing that does that?
Absolutely.
I mean, come on, people have been doing it for hundreds of thousands of years. I mean, here in 2020, it's not a whole lot different than it was 2020 BC.
Well, at least when I die, I'll know who I am inside.
And see that therein lies something that you can definitely be proud of. Like me, when it's time for me to go home, I'm going to be comfortable with who I am. I'm going to be comfortable with where I've become to be. Um, I've done some stupid stuff when I was younger. Shut up, Lester.
I will.
Uh huh. Um, but we all have, honestly.
Cookman can't claim any different.
Right. But
I've never done anything stupid in my lifetime.
Lucky you.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm telling
call
you.
bullshit.
Keep lying to yourself, baby.
I can't lie to myself, but if I can't lie to you guys, then I'm really screwed up.
Nothing. Whew.
We left them lost for words.
No, the words I was going to use couldn't be used on a family channel.
Oh,
My
damn,
job is done here.
Whew. So, what are some of the things that you guys have done to better be true to yourself, accept yourself, move on from the self that you might have been? What are some of the advice that you might could give to someone that's having trouble accepting themselves and moving on from where they used to be?
I got this
Work
one.
really hard on trying to ignore what other people think of you.
Go for it, Clint.
Okay, like Cindy was saying, when we were growing up, we Navy brat, training, discipline, the whole works. When I moved out from my house, from mom and dad's, I vowed to never go back. I wanted to be myself, be my own man, do what I needed to do to make my way in the world, which I have done. Yes, I've had help from other people, but I am comfortable with what I have done with my life to go forward from where I was at.
At the end of the day, you had to do the work, right?
Work
Exactly.
and
And
then some.
it's a huge step to move out of that situation. Like for
Right.
us, we
Right.
moved 16 hours away and we said, we're done. We're done with the negativity. We're done with the ridicule. We're done with never being good enough. So if I could give advice to anybody, it is that be fed up. It's okay to be fed up with people who judge you and look down on you. It's okay to empower yourself and to take that move.
Well put. Well put. Clint, you had something else to say?
Jamie's right. You have to do what you need to do to take care of yourself or whoever is in the future for you, because without self, there's nothing.
Very true. And I want to make a comment in retrospect. Okay. I completely agree. At the end of the day, you got to do what you're going to do, and to hell with everybody else to a degree. But if you're going to be an asshole in spite of everybody else, and you're not going to listen to those people that care about you, that are trying to help you, are you not any better than the people of other families who tried to repress and put down and shame other people? Did I ask that right?
You did.
Judge, judge not, ye be judged.
True. And at the same time, should we not surround ourselves with positive minded individuals who can help us while maybe we help them gather their strength to step out of the cesspool that they may have grown up in?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to give you a Christian's perspective on this.
Go, Father Catholic.
Okay, we're taught that God made us in his image. But God has no image. He is an ethereal being. He doesn't have shape, form, or solidity. So each one of us is an individual that has to grow up in the body that we're given, and we have to find that comfortable place in our lives. That comment that Dave made a while ago, that the kingdom of heaven is within oneself, is true. It's not taught in the Christian faith, but it's an understanding that the kingdom of God is within oneself. The temple is you. When Jesus Christ said that he would tear down the temple in 3 days and rebuild it, he was not referring to the Jewish synagogue. He was referring to the soul, the individual person. So being true to oneself means finding the fact that you were created to be yourself. No matter what your faults are or who you want to be, you have to be true to yourself. Otherwise, you're lost. It's plain and simple as that. Going around judging other people, well, the Joneses got it better, baby. That's all there is to it. Deal with it.
Somebody's always made more money than I have.
That's right.
That's the truth.
Well, and pagans have the same basic philosophy in that the temple is the self. If you don't take care of yourself, nobody else can. I mean, yeah, I can go into the hospital and they can tell me somewhat physically what's going on, but at the end of the day, I have to do the work.
Yeah, it's you the one that's got to take the medicine, not
Right.
them.
Right. And life is the same way. How many times have I heard God will provide? Okay.
Only if you get out there and do it yourself.
Right. And pagans have the same basic philosophy. We're gonna hand the things that we can't handle over to God and Goddess, over to our deity, over to our chosen counsel, whatever, spirit guide, whatever. But at the same time, I'm the one that has to do my laundry. Hearn and Morgana are not going to do it for me.
You know the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink?
Right.
Exactly. Like when I do tarot, I have my clients, whatever, and I tell them that all the time. It's like I can give you a reading. I can be guided by my cards, you know, through the gods and goddesses to give you answers, to give you. But if you're not willing to get off your butt and make it happen, it's not going to happen. You can't come back at me and say, "Oh, you were wrong." No, I wasn't wrong. No, the universe wasn't wrong. No, the gods and goddesses weren't wrong. It's you failed in yourself. You failed to achieve what you could have achieved because you did not want to put the work in.
Absolutely correct. You got to get off.
You were given the directions, you chose not to follow them.
Exactly.
Yep. What was it we used to say, Lester, in the oil field? Off your ass and on your feet, out of the shade and in the heat. Let's go.
That's right.
You know, that well's not going to dig itself.
Unless you do it.
Yep. Yep. But that's also a part. That's also a part of being true to self. I mean, hell, that kitchen that we have built in our tiny house now, the kitchen, the island, everything we're building, I can no longer, being true to myself, physically, I can no longer hit it and go on a 12-hour day with stopping only long enough to get a drink and grab some lunch. Part of
no, me, it's worth 15 minutes, sit down for a half an hour.
Yeah, see, that's what I was just fixing to say. You know, part of being true to myself is admitting that my legs will no longer haul my fat ass up and down a ladder all day, non-stop. My legs will haul my ass up that ladder and down it maybe 4 or 5 times, and then I gotta sit down for a few minutes.
Should have seen me yesterday on my knees on the ground trying to cut those 4x4 poles from that fence down to the ground level. Took me everything I had to get back up off the ground.
Yeah, see, getting down is easy.
Getting up is the pain.
All you gotta do is fall, you know. You can get down. But getting up is a bitch. Absolutely.
So can I pose a question in
Okay.
regards to that?
Yeah, come on.
So, like for me, that's my biggest struggle with self right now. Is I can't do what I feel I should be able to do on our farm. It is that. It's I feed the goats, I have to go sit down. I feed the rabbits, I have to go sit down. And that bothers me. So is that still being true to yourself when it bothers you so bad? Or is that something that is not true to self? You know, you guys are, I'm listening to you guys and I wish I could laugh it off. To me, I cry it off because I'm so defeated in myself that I can't push it more.
One
Don't
word.
feel bad. We felt that way at first too when the body started falling apart. But after a while, you get used to it and you learn to accommodate yourself.
You know,
You can laugh about it later.
I was slapped in the face when we moved in '08. We moved up here, and it took us a couple of years to get on our feet, get jobs, and get out and get our own place. That move into that little bitty trailer put me down for 3 days, and I thought, what the hell? And I mean, that was in '08. This is 2020. You do the math.
Yeah.
My back was gone. I could not catch my breath. My breath kept running past me, and I just couldn't catch it. And I had already, at that point, quit smoking 2 years.
Well, in 2015, I had moved back to Louisiana, and I got into a wreck at the latter part of 2015. Before that, you can ask Don. I was a go-getter. There was nothing that could hold me down. And then after 5 years of being laid up, I just don't have the energy anymore. And yeah, I got frustrated at first after I was, starting to get better and trying to do things I normally would do and be like, this is fucking bullshit. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, I mean,
But I got over it.
I mean, it's really
You
tough.
know, it all comes down to the fact that, you know, I've been laid up for 5 years. My body has gotten completely out of shape. I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm past 50 now, so you know, it's the new norm for me. So I do my 15 minutes of work and come sit down for 30 minutes and get back up and go do my 15 minutes of work. It might take me 5 days to accomplish something, but I get it done.
Well, okay, that island that I posted in Discord, I don't know if I can post it in the. I don't know if I can post it in the chat or not. Um, yeah, it won't let me. Anyway, the island I posted a picture of in Discord that Kaya and I built. It took me 3 months to complete that, and it's not quite complete yet. So we finished the bigger part of it yesterday. But a part of being true to yourself, and you had asked this question, you know, we laugh it off and you cry it off. I understand that because almost 3 years ago now, when we moved back in here to help take care of my parents and form a singular household for money reasons and, you know, physical reasons, that move, well, in all honesty, almost put me in the hospital. And at one point, I broke down and was sitting in the living room crying, going, I can't do this. It hurts too bad. And I ended up having to hire someone to come out and finish unloading the truck.
I've been there.
Been there.
Yeah, because I couldn't do it. So we, you know, for those of you listening to our broadcast that don't really truly even know what it is to accept yourself, to be true to self, it comes with time. It comes with tears. It comes with laughter. It comes with pain. It comes with growth, self-growth. And I'm not talking about the type of growth I'm doing, which is out.
There's a great topic for another day, but what is it to accept aging?
Deal with it, baby. That's all there
Ooh.
is to it.
That's a good subject, Don.
Good topic.
Yeah, I think that's encompassed right here, hun, in being true to yourself. You know, just,
There ain't no hiding from it. That's damn sure.
you know, we joke growing up. The only facts of life is life, death, and taxes. Well, there's only two guarantees in life, and that's life and death.
Mm-hmm.
Getting old and dying.
Yeah, well, you know, that's a byproduct.
Right.
But the only two.
Some of them are lucky they don't get old and they die. But you know, those of us that have been put on the earth to get old, we get to play with it all we want.
Yeah, and see, you know, I guess thinking back on it, and you know, I told my wife this a couple of months ago. We were talking about, you know, some of her health issues and some of mine. The one thing about it, if the gods took me tomorrow, I'd be okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I, you know, at 58, I've lived a good life. Pain in the ass most of the time, but I've lived a good life. But in part of accepting myself and I'm going to pronounce her name wrong. I know it. Midian, Midin. Anyway,
You didn't pronounce it wrong. That's right.
okay, cool.
Right, Midian.
Yeah. Anyway, but there's no
Sorry,
con.
I don't
Oh,
understand.
shut up, Google. There's no concrete.
Google might understand Tasha better.
I know. There's no concrete answer to answer your questions. The only advice, like Lester said, the only advice we can give is you're not alone. Um,
Suck it up, Buttercup.
no, now Lester, that's what we used to tell each other. Everybody else, we'd be like, "You're not alone." There are other people that are going
Yeah,
through.
well, I'm getting older and ornery, so.
Dude, you've
Wait,
already
wait.
been ornery.
Ornery, yeah. I was to say he's been ornery.
I've
Ornerier,
always been ornery.
but you're not alone. Seriously. When you feel like you've reached the end of your rope, tie a knot, hang on, reach out to one of us and say, "Hey, I don't know which way else to go. I know for a fact that everyone in the Discord chat here, with the exception of yourself, because I haven't known you that long, but everyone in the Discord chat here I have reached out to at some point or another and said, I don't know which way to go. I'm lost. I'm confused. I need some help."
Yeah, when I bought this new house, this was after getting recovered from the accident. I was looking at packing up the house was nothing for me, but I was looking at the fact that I would have to move 40,000 pounds of books, about 10,000 pounds of crystals and minerals, not to mention refrigerators, ice boxes, furniture. I'm like, I can't do this shit by myself. I'm gonna have to get somebody.
Yep.
So I hired an old boy for $50 a day to help be my mule. And the whole time he's doing it, I'm like cringing because I'm so anal retentive about everything.
Oh boy.
Don't drop that box.
Right.
Put that box there.
Right. And here, let me show you how to move that.
Yeah.
That was the problem
Like,
I had.
he kept having to stop me from picking up boxes. I'm like, dude, I can't help it. I've got to do something.
Yeah. I can't just sit and watch.
He's like, that's what you're paying me for.
Yeah, I mean that's what the fella, that helped us load from the prior house we lived in before we moved here, and the boys that I had to hire to help unload. They're like,
Yep.
how are
It
you
get- it
able
gets
to lift that?
frustrating.
Huh?
It gets frustrating.
Yes. So, I mean, but damn, she didn't change her name. Hi, Tasha. Don't confuse the old guy. It's easy. But, it's like you were saying. It's okay to cry. It's okay to go through a period of time where you no longer know who you are or where you're going. And I want to kind of close with this because we're getting at the end of the hour. It's okay to be confused. It's okay not to really know who you are. It's not okay to give up. We all give up for a little bit, but eventually, like we old guys say, you gotta reach down and pull up your big people panties and accept what's going on and change the things you can. I mean, come on, the serenity prayer, you know? Change the things you can. Accept the things that you can't and ask for the wisdom to know the freaking difference. If you're pagan, be pagan. Stop trying to be a part-time pagan and stop trying to make others think that you're some happy, bouncing, go lucky Christian, because it's not going to help you. And the same in reverse. If you're trying to live as pagan because all your friends are, but you're not, maybe you might be atheist, maybe you might be Christian. Be who you are. And the only time I've ever had a rebuttal when somebody says I'm just being me, and I look at them and say, yeah, but being an asshole is not a good thing.
Oh, come on. I'm making art out of it.
Yeah, you say, but I'm going to bust your bubble, old brother. You're not an asshole at heart.
No.
Now, you and me both can be a very big asshole.
Oh, yeah.
I think all of us can be.
Oh, yeah. But guys, at the end of the day, it's up to you to be a good person. It's up to you to be who you are. And it's up to you to just be true to yourself. Walk the talk. Be who you are. If you don't like who you are and you have trouble changing it, reach out to those that can help you. Pride is a very destructive emotion. And so is self-loathing. And if you don't know what self-loathing is, Google it. It's very dangerous. But, like I say, folks, be true to yourself. Be true to who you are. And if you need help, reach out. Thank you for watching Open Pagan Church. We'll see you next time, right here.